Bonjour et bienvenue. Welcome to our French for Beginners, Lesson 28, Course 1. Let's get to our résumé. Les indications. Lieu, le magasin. La station. Avant tout. Tu. Plastique. Trolley. The plastic bag. Le sac en papier. Le sac en papier. The paper bag. L'allée. L'allée. The aisles. La caisse. La caisse. Till register. Le chariot. Le chariot. Cart trolley. Les fruits et légumes. Les fruits et légumes. Fruits and vegetables. Don't forget to link the letter S to the letter I. Les fruits et légumes. La viande. La viande. Les produits laitiers. Les produits laitiers. Dairy products. Les pâtes. Les pâtes. Pastas. Le pain. Le pain. The bread. Les sucreries. Les sucreries. Sweets. Acheter. Acheter. To buy. To purchase. Acheter. Let's see how we conjugate it. J'achète. J with apostrophe. J'achète. Tu achètes. Il, elle, on achète. Nous achetons. Vous achetez. Il, elles achètent. This verb is easy, it's regular. Coûter, to cost. Let's check this verb. Je coûte, I cost. Not very common. Tu coûtes. Il, elle, on coûte. Nous coûtons. Vous coûtez. Il, elle coûte. Again, regular verb. This is quite easy. Il y a. There is or there are. Il y a won't ever change, no matter if it's singular or plural. Il y a un chien. Il y a deux chiens. Entraînement. Let's have a short practice. I will be in black, you will be in red. Ready? Bonjour, j'aimerais acheter du pain. Où se trouve-t-il? Merci. Et y a-t-il du pain à la banane? Combien coûte le pain à la banane? Parfait, merci. How did it go? Alright, let's now try to do so, removing your sentences. Ready? Let's do this again. Bonjour, j'aimerais acheter du pain. Où se trouve-t-il? Trouve-t-il? Ready? Bonjour, j'aimerais acheter du pain. Où se trouve-t-il? Merci. Et y a-t-il du pain à la banane? Combien? Coûte le pain à la banane. Parfait, merci. How did it go so far? It was quite difficult. If so, feel free to rewind and practice some more with the previous page. Otherwise, let's move on and switch. Til du pain, do so. Remove previous page. Good luck. Acheter. Coûter.
Bonjour à tous. Alors en retournant faire un petit tour à l'IUT pour dire bonjour à mes collègues, parce que ça fait pas si longtemps que ça que j'ai quitté l'IUT, je suis tombée bien sûr sur des étudiants que je connais et entre autres des étudiantes avec qui je m'entendais très bien. Et l'une d'entre elles en fait portait une minerve. Vous savez ce qu'on met autour du cou pour maintenir le coup quand on a eu un choc, un accident, quelque chose. Alors évidemment, j'ai voulu savoir ce qui s'était passé et donc Célia a accepté de nous expliquer tout ça.
J'ai eu un accident en fait samedi dernier.
De voiture ?
Ah oui, un accident de voiture. Il y a une fille qui m'est rentrée par derrière, donc plus de voiture et j'ai la minerve.
Et alors comment ça s'est passé juste après l'accident ?
Ben, il y a la police et les pompiers qui sont venus. Ils nous ont posé plein de questions, tout ça, et ils nous ont transportés à l'hôpital toutes les deux. Donc on a atterri aux urgences. Et après, ils m'ont fait passer des radios pour voir si j'avais rien de cassé ou quoi. Donc a priori, j'avais rien, ni à la tête ni au cou, vu que j'ai tapé la tête, tout ça.
Même avec la ceinture ?
Ouais, il y a l'airbag qui est sorti et tout. Et après, ils m'ont fait faire toutes les radios et je suis sortie. Et du coup, ils m'ont donné la minerve et des médicaments à prendre.
Et vous êtes resté combien de temps alors en tout entre...
J'ai eu l'accident à 21h30 et je suis sortie de l'hôpital, il était 1h du matin.
Comme ça, toute seule ?
Non, il y avait mes parents qui sont venus me voir. Ouais, ils m'attendaient dans la salle d'attente, quoi.
Oui, oui. Et alors, quand on va à l'hôpital comme ça, comment c'est ? Tout est pris en charge ? Vous aviez votre carte vitale ? Vous aviez...
Oui, dans mon portefeuille, j'avais ma carte vitale et ma carte mutuelle. Du coup, j'ai rien payé. J'ai juste donné ma carte vitale. Ils ont regardé qu'elle était à jour, tout ça. Et j'ai pas eu à payer vu que tous les mois, on paye une cotisation.
Oui.
Le jour où
oui, c'est gratuit.
Un accident, c'est
Du coup, quand on va à l'hôpital, c'est gratuit.
Voilà.
Parce qu'on est assuré par ailleurs.
C'est ça.
Et là, vous devez aller chez...
Il y a. Très bien. Very good. I will see you next lesson. Till then, bravo. Congratulations. Au revoir et à bientôt. Bonjour et bienvenue. Welcome to a French for Beginners, Lesson 29, Course 1. First, résumé. Les fruits et la cuisine. La cuisine. The kitchen. Le salon. Le salon. The living room. La salle à manger. La salle à manger. The dining room. La chambre. La chambre. The bedroom. La salle de bain. La salle de bain. The bathroom. Le sous-sol. Le sous-sol. The basement. Not a place that I quite like. Les escaliers. Les escaliers. The stairs. La porte. La porte. The door. La fenêtre. La fenêtre. The window. Le toit means the roof. Le plafond means the ceiling. Le toit, le plafond. La lampe. La lampe. The lamp. L'horloge. L'horloge. The clock. Silent H. L'horloge. La télévision. La télévision. The television. Le lit. Le lit. The bed. L'armoire. L'armoire. The wardrobe, closet, cabinet. L'armoire. Le réfrigérateur. Le réfrigérateur. Or, easier, le frigo. Le frigo. More common as well. L'évier. L'évier. The kitchen sink. nettoyer, nettoyer, to clean. Let's check the verb nettoyer. Je nettoie. Tu nettoies. Il, elle, on nettoie. Nous nettoyons. Vous nettoyez. Il, elle nettoie. This verb is kind of irregular. We just change the letter Y to I and E. Two of them are regular though. Nous and vous, usual. Nettoyons,
으이. กัน抽紙低嚟啊！合作執緊冇咯。
Hey, how's it going?
Hi Sean, hello.
Sorry about that. We thought we lost a bunch of stuff that we really needed for tomorrow, and then we found it
see.
in some cupboard.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good news. Can you hear me well?
Thank God. Yeah. Would have cost quite a bit, but yeah, we found it. Great.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen maybe today. Sean. Yeah, I will share my screen.
Okay, sure, perfect.
Yep. Okay. Can you see my screen now, Sean?
I can see it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we previously we had this top filters thing, this problem. So we had a sort of on submit here. Currently Sean, so it's like the second part of the question for me today. I need to do some follow up. I would say follow up. Basically, is to handle we wanted to handle data coming for different dates. I think currently I think there's only one single value we are taking care of. We currently the idea is that, remember this get endpoint thing? We were saying that it's only for one single payload, or rather that last element of the array. If you recall, yeah. So we will need to actually handle multiple multiple responses, because if you choose different dates, so you recall my API, the way it works is that if we want to use multiple dates, it's basically a different call per se for each and every date.
That seems to be working though.
Yes. But currently I think it's only working for one single date. That means if I were to click 2 and 3, I don't think that API call will go through properly for now, because you're saying get endpoint only for one only.
Yeah, but that's fine because the.
So I need some structure to. Yeah, I need some structure to manage it.
But the way you explained it was, if you're searching for multiple days within the same month, what you want to do is fetch all the data for the month, and then do a client side filter for the specific days. No.
Let me see.
Because you don't want to end up doing like 50 different API calls. That's gonna kill your server.
Yes. Yeah. I think I'm missing that part, that filtering part. I would say that filtering part. So we can look into that.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
I'm just looking exactly
given
how.
things like 1 and 9, something like that. Yeah. But first maybe a more basic question before this, Sean, is that I want to limit the user to use single date only for this tab, and multiple dates for this tab. Is there a clean way to do this thing?
You mean you only want to choose?
Yes.
You only want a single date.
So if the user is on this tab, he is able to only do one date, and then on this tab is a different it's a range basically. It's a range.
Yeah. That's fine, because all you need to do really is you need to. Yeah. Do you want to start the session?
Yes.
We can jump in.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. And then I'll show you what you need to do.
Yeah.
So once again, the kind of methodology, at least what I'm trying to give over, is that once you built a common component, it's easy to kind of modify that and build on it based on what you want. So essentially what you want, I mean, the way I would kind of go about it is that you don't want a date range component, you just want a date component. So
Yes.
like so if I go into the top filters here,
I want it to adjust as I switch tab. So there's a tab value that I'm interfacing it with. Tab value, if you notice, line 27.
right.
Yes.
So like, kind of like if so I mean the way I would do it then is we would just
I think there's a prop that manages this thing.
manages what? Sorry.
It manages the switching of date picker. Basically it's this one. So I want it to switch between. I think there's a prop called is single date for real date picker.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think you just don't have to have the select range as false. But what I'd rather do is just because you can build it out differently based on it. So like, I would actually just
Oh, just render, just render,
So here it's
render
kind of
different.
like,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So I would say filter dot type
Yeah.
equals
But it's already a ternary already. Okay, I need another
date,
ternary. I need another ternary.
something like that.
Yeah.
And then you can do this. Sorry. And then I would just copy this. Now the reason, like, I could just do it based on a
Tab value.
based on like a prop that I'm passing through that will handle that select
Yep.
range, but I'd rather just
re-render the whole thing.
yeah, just without the
yes,
select
yeah.
range. The reason why I want to do that is because
But does removing that change the implementation? I understand there's a prop called single date or something like that.
sorry, just let me just
Yeah.
let me just get this right. Hold on.
Oh, it's a ternary with
No,
the ternary.
The default is
There's a
the
error.
default value is it a single date. You have to say select range in order for it to not be the default value.
Okay, that's the default
So
behavior.
now that we've set up this filter the type equals date, then all you really have to do is so inside the and
Tab.
it depends on its certain tabs.
Yeah, it's called tab value itself. Camel case tab value. Yep, I'm passing it. I'm passing it here and there, I
Right.
think. Yeah.
So then where is the
But I pass it, but I never actually call it in a sense. Do you
where
want me
is the
to?
top filters?
Okay. Let me
We're
find for
only
you.
filtering it out.
Yeah, let me find for you.
Okay, let's look at it.
Yeah, actually I tried to pass it in, but I'm not sure how to call it. Yeah. Yeah, line 128 and 138, I think.
Okay. I just want to see here. Is this on the top filters component? No, so you don't want to pass through the tab values in here because at the end of the day, the tab value is now not turning it into a common component. Now it's the
Yeah.
tab value itself is kind of fixing it to the fact that there's a tab value, and that doesn't work for every single situation.
Yes.
So what I would rather do is inside the catering, right? Where am I
Yeah,
invoking
the
the top filters here? Where is it at the bottom?
the grandparent page.
Yeah. So we
Yeah,
want to
sure.
just go to the one at the bottom there,
Actually I have it.
and let's just get to the filters here. I just want to see where we've declared these filters.
Let me just control F for
um,
you.
Yeah. There we go.
Yep.
Fine. And then we've got so where's the tab value? Is that a piece of state that we've
Yes,
set up
it's actually
here somewhere?
a former state.
A what state?
For a former official state I'm using to govern yes 1552.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then what I would do is I would say, so go back to the filters. Okay, and then we kind of say, so here's the date range, right?
Yes.
And then we've got here. So what is the what's the tab value? I guess it's 2
for
or it's 1.
which one in particular? Like the current page we are at is a
The
0.
one that you want the date range to be in.
For single is it or multiple?
Because the range is
The
multiple,
range.
so I want-
Okay. So I want range for. Okay, this is a bit complicated. I want range for. This tab and this option. This tab and this option. The rest
see,
the rest I want it to be just single date. Single date also. This one is only one that I want it to be multiple date.
okay,
Yeah.
so
It-
so where's the state that's this overview?
This one is in it's this one. Yeah. 1569.
Okay, so then
So it's
So
a
let's
it's a
just-
n I think. Condition.
sorry, just give me a sec. Okay, so here's filters. So basically what we want to say is if tab equals 1, which is this report, so I'm assuming it starts from 0, right? And what's it? This
Yes, equal to.
equals, sorry, triple equal sign. I'm assuming it's trend. I don't know what the value
Let me
is.
see. Sorry. Overview. Let me just find for you. Find for you. It's called surf.
So,
So
okay,
I
fine.
copy. Yeah, you can just go back to the. Is it filters?
Yeah, just go back to filters.
Yes. What was it? This one?
Cool.
Let me
And then you
just-
can see, yeah, so call it served.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see what I'm doing there? I'm saying, and then actually, because I'm going to want to do it twice, I'll show you why. I'm actually going to say, const is range equals, because I don't want this like complex boolean to be, just do that.
Yeah, very verbose.
Yeah, but the only reason I'm going to do this is because I'm using it twice. Because I want to set an
yes.
initial value.
Correct. Minimize effort.
Right, exactly. So here we got is range. And then instead of having an array, we just want a new date of 2023 0302. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that's essentially going on now. So now it should occur. What's happening now?
Let me just F12 it. I can't access the value before initialization. Maybe it's a placement
fine. So-
placement issue.
So where is tab value?
Tab value is.
It must be below filters somewhere.
Yeah.
So bring tab value as a state going
let
up.
me bring it up somehow. Is there a particular 113 I think? 113.
Yeah.
Give us a hint here.
No, it's tab value with an uppercase, hey? I mean, I did case sensitive search there. It just makes life a bit easier. So just search tab value there, but with an uppercase V. Yeah, there we go. So then,
Where does it complain? Oh man. I have my states declaration all the way at the bottom. Can I shift this somewhere else? Can I shift this whole? Yeah, I think I can.
yeah, I mean,
Yes.
put it all the way at the top.
All the way at the top. Yeah. Just to
At least put it above filters.
yes,
You know.
but in catering itself, okay. I make sure that yes, I think here. Oh fuck! Why is
Yeah,
so
then
many
just
states?
drag.
I have too many states.
Alright, cool. That should work, unless there's more
Yeah.
errors now.
Okay,
There we go.
let me just close back this. I see there's a is there a way to render something?
It should be just refresh.
Or is it like a
Wait, hold on.
default
No,
value
no, it should be.
prop kind of?
No, but I put a default value. That's the thing. Unless I just did.
Is it control? Control,
It might be
uncontrolled, that
that
kind of
value is not the.
issue.
No, yeah, that's the thing. But I might
Yeah.
not have put the. But yeah, it's okay. It's supposed to be selected, not
Selected,
value. So
okay.
if we go into top filters here, and you'll see here, I said value rather. It needs to
okay,
be
yeah.
selected.
So there's a default selected one.
yeah. That
Okay,
makes it a controlled
understand,
component.
understand.
So you've got.
Invalid type. Oh, we need the date object, I think, or something like that. It's
Oh,
not a
it should be
proper.
there, though.
It's not a proper.
Select value. Just want to see what the value is. No, so that's
Value.
okay. Let's just try.
Yeah.
It's an invalid time value. Let's just see exactly what we put in here.
It's not a formal state. It's just a variable. I think.
I think I did it the wrong way. I did the wrong way.
Yeah. I think it's
'Cause
just
I did this where I said
is range.
so I want this to be not is range. I'm just gonna. You should swap it around, but this will essentially.
if not is
So if it's
range.
not range, I just want one date, and there we go.
Okay.
So you can see here now this is a single date,
Yes.
but if it's in reports, then it's
And
this,
And that's.
and then
Ca-
you just
for
change it to trend.
for reports, can I maintain range for reports? Just this particular.
Right. So now it is a range.
This is
problem.
Yeah, this is okay. This is okay. But it doesn't
Yeah, so-
show up again.
Yeah. You just need to inside the top filters.
Pass in a placeholder.
Where did we
Range.
pass through the format? So we just need to. No, we already do that, but we need to do something called enable reinitialize, and basically when something else is passed through into it,
Yeah.
it actually reinitializes all the initial values. So now
nice.
you can see here, like if I go to overview, what happened there?
Is there any time value? Do we need to handle the value 0, value 1 properly? I'm not sure
No,
why
but
is
it
it
should
causing.
be fun though.
I'm not sure why is it causing the issue. Let's go to
Let's
that.
see here
Yeah, I go to-
exactly. Okay, so this one
reports again.
works.
And
that
let
one?
me just close this one.
No,
Yes.
and now go somewhere else.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the reason is that it's obviously not it's not like switching that initial value, or it might be, but it's not doing it like quick enough basically. Essentially what we want to do is
Maybe that particular select is not part of top filters. Might be considered a problem. Would it be better if I switch over there? Switch to everything in top filters. But then I will also need that dynamic rendering, like only for tab equal to 1.
what do
or
you mean?
that drop down list you see is, I don't think it's part of the top filters officially. Right after the search.
No, it's not. So I mean, how you're doing it is that you're
Is it a big
rendering
problem?
top filters on top of everything.
Yes.
I mean, the best way to go about it would be to have what's under there in like a. Because so basically what's happening is like this. Those top filters, even though you're clicking from one tab to the other, those top filters are always staying there. They're
Yes.
constantly there. They are rendering. So sorry, they're not being re-rendered.
Yes.
So they're not like unmounting and remounting. So that means when you change kind of the type, then it changes. So it changes it like from a normal thing to an array, and then when you change it back to a single date select, then it looks at the array and it says, whoa, wait, this isn't actually a value. So like basically we can say like this. We can say, well, if it's a date filter, we want to say selected equals
or
array.isArray value, right? Then we can just say value 0, and if not, we would just want value, because there seems to be like a little bit of a disconnect there.
we need that
where-
array kind of schema structure.
Right. So like now, if I go to food trends, so now it adds that.
Let's
If
bounce
I go
back.
back here, it shouldn't throw an error.
okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
For a
It's
split
quite strict.
second,
Yeah.
for a split second, it changes it to this date picker.
Mm-hmm.
It has selected, and the value hasn't re-rendered from an array. So it's going to be selected as an array, and then the date picker crashes because it's expecting a date, and what you get is an array. And that's why it was breaking.
Yes.
So we just set this up that if it is still an array, we're just going to get the first element of the array, and when the re-rendering finally catches up and passes through the correct value based on our filter array that we had here, then it will just initialize it, so it works basically, as you can see.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
think
kind
it's
of that was kind of a
okay.
way to set it up. But I mean, like first prize would be, if you think about it, overview. So right now, this is a component. It's always rendered. It doesn't unmount. It doesn't unmount. The only thing that unmounts are these things at the bottom.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of what you'd want is that you'd want everything under this line to be in its own component.
Yes.
You'd have 4 different components, one for this, one for that,
Yeah.
one for this, one for that. Like, yeah, I mean, I can show you an example on my side, like how I do it. Like when we've got like a tab view like this. And basically what it does is just that when you click on it, it actually renders what's inside it. And if it's not active, then it doesn't render what's inside it. So whenever you click on it, it actually like has it re-renders it, which might be like it might be, I don't know. I think it's just the organizational gains might offset the slight compromise on efficiency, but I mean, essentially, you do want it to re-render when you go into it because maybe the data has, changed or something like that.
Sean, I wanted to check with you.
Yeah.
I have issue with sub on submit. So formic wise, we cannot use multiple on submit, is it? For formic.
Sorry,
on the formic level.
On the formic level, formic. Because I do have a use case of I need to call different endpoints with different
parameters at different tabs.
Yeah, so I don't think formic will
Like me using on submit 1, on submit 2, on submit 3.
No, we definitely don't want that.
Yeah, okay.
But that's why I'm saying what you want is that you want to have 4 different top filters components. So like,
yes.
Like if you inside here, this catering, right? You're going to be rendering the top filters 4 times, one in each tab, and it's going to go to a different endpoint each time. So basically, how you want to render it is,
how do I do structuring or restructuring? Currently, I think it's only one only, right?
Yeah.
Currently, it's one.
Right, exactly. Currently, there is only one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But essentially, what you want to do is you want to have. I don't know how to explain it. Let me see. Let me think. We want to kind of overhaul how this is being rendered itself, because think about it. If this overview renders a component that has this inside it, then this component can link to an endpoint. And if this is a completely separate component, then this component can link to an endpoint. Right now, this is a common, this filters is on the same level as these tabs. So like this overview state is actually on all 4 of these. Because you're putting it, because it's on the parent component. So what we want is, this is a parent, overview is a parent, and here's a child of a parent. This is a parent, and this is a child. This is a parent, and this is a child. So you're going to have 4 top filters, and each one is a child of its respective component. If you have 4, then you can say on submit and do whatever you want for each one. That makes sense.
Currently, I'm using on submit.
In some sense, but it's very ugly. I think I was saying just so I use different tabs. I basically use tabs to manage it.
Right. And then you're gonna call a different endpoint based on the.
I keep repeating the same code which is quite a bit stupid, I think. On my side.
So I think what you need. So I think the only thing you would need to do is just change the endpoint. The only problem is that there's going to be like a completely different payload schema being fetched from each endpoint.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I wouldn't recommend how we're doing it like this. What we can do, I can kind of set up. I can share my screen and I can spin up a very brief explanation of like how like a tab view would work. If you want.
Maybe you can do a bit of switch on my side first. Just see what we can do at the moment. Then maybe you can show me one example. I can proceed to do that change for the rest.
Right. So like.
Just a small example, on this.
Okay, so I would do something like this, right? I would do, at least for now, it would be like kind of like a simple enough way of doing it. You have this tab value, right?
Refactoring at the moment.
Sorry?
I'm trying to minimize refactoring at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
A bit lazy.
So it shouldn't be too much a refactor because all the code is there. You're just like rendering it conditionally based on the tabs, but like everything is being rendered. So like what you're looking for is essentially like here's the tab value. So like you would kind of have something like this, right? Which is like kind of easier to work with. Is that the const tabs equals something like this, and you would say okay, so let's just say okay, so I'm just making each one a React component, right? Just for how many tabs are there?
4, I think. For now, 4.
Okay, fine. So
yeah.
So basically, you would pass through. You would have your components in this array, right? Right now, I'm just doing like a very basic component just to show you that there's differentiation here, right? Okay, and then you've kind of got this, and what you have now is you can say, well, you can say like this: const current tab equals tab value.
Correct.
Sorry, tab value.
Tabs.
How does it know? And you can see here now this is a JSX element, so basically it's a component, a React component, this current tab. So that's a nice one. So now you don't have to do a conditional if tabs is this, if tabs is that, and essentially all you're going to do is you're going to
I'm using tab panel, I think. Let me just do a general search. Yes, I'm using this the whole thing here, and wait,
what's that?
Tab panel. Wait, let me try to find. With so many tabs. Do I have it? Yes. Yeah. So basically one for each, for now. The current implementation.
So this is this what's rendering inside it?
Yes. I have one for each for tab panel 0, 1, 2 and 3. So you
So
wanted
this
to
is the second tab panel you're saying?
Yes.
I just want to see, just hold on.
Yeah.
So you have 4 of them, right?
Yes.
So
0,
the
1,
thing
2,
here,
3.
tab panel is so what is tab panel? Is that like a material thing?
Let me see. Tab panel is I think it's a custom component, I would say. It's this. I'm not sure what do we call this. Custom component, custom function, something.
Yeah. Something around there. I just want to see exactly.
It's just rendering the children.
But it's rendering it conditionally. Okay, fine. So you're essentially doing that.
Yeah, basically it's a lot of code for just the same mechanism. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, essentially what you're doing is you're putting each one inside there.
Children.
So I mean, what I would. So you're kind of. I mean, it's in the same. It's on the same vein, and what essentially you want to do. So basically, you want to see like this. Right now, each tab. So everything is being rendered here, right?
Correct.
So you can't make state in each panel. So like, just as an example, like you said, for this overview, right? This is managed on state, but the state is in this parent component over here.
Correct.
It should be in this tab panel. The reason why it can't be in the tab panel is because the tab panel is being rendered in the parent component. It's not as a child. It's on the same level. It's like flattened on the same level as this component. A lot, right?
Yes.
So sorry, I'm ordered something and it's like taking forever for them to even acknowledge it. So yeah, so that means when I change this overview it's actually like re-rendering everything because everything needs to re-render because I'm changing a state on this entire component. So what you want to do is you want to break out each tab panel into its own component. So like you would say something like,
I do have one for catering overview already, aka the tab 0.
so it's pretty much exactly what
Yeah,
you're doing here.
yes,
This
yes.
catering overview, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't, so you want to do that with each one. But then
Sure.
inside catering overview, right?
Yeah.
You want the filters to be inside here. So you're putting top filters at the very top, right?
Correct.
You don't want to put top filters in this component. You want to put top filters inside the catering
tab.
overview component. Exactly.
In each yes, correct.
In each component under here. It's like your catering overview, you broke it out into its own thing, but like this one you haven't broken out into its own thing, and then the other ones you haven't broken out into its own thing either. So just follow the trend of what you're doing from the first one into all the others, and then in each one you have the filters, you have the top filters, and then you can put whatever filters you want because there might be different filters in different ones, and each one can be different and dynamic. So you don't have to have that if tab equals 1 and this equals that, then I want it as a date field, or a date range field. That only needs to be done here, but everywhere else you can just say date, and you don't have to worry about the conditionals there.
I see.
So the take home is just to take this component and put it into each one of these 4. And then it's also going to just make things a lot easier in terms of your state, because you have this state, you can then put this state into the reports component instead of having it on the top level here. And so you can do quite a bit of cleanup here.
Yes. So what your recommendation, Sean, is that I can just create a top filters for each and every, I just place it under the tab panel. The simplest way to go about it at the moment.
Right now you're going to have to put a top filters
In each.
I mean, right now, so like the essential would be to, sorry, let me just check here. I mean, the essential would be to, inside the catering overview component, don't put top filters here.
Yes,
that's still going to be complicated. You want to put it inside catering overview, and inside catering overview it has its own state, and it has its own way of how that filter is being managed. It has its own on-submit function. It has its own state, which you're then going to push and then send the data to. And then the same thing with the reports. It's going to be the same. It's going to be it's going to be its own state. The top filters are going to be governed by the state inside the reports container. So what you're doing is you're just separating out the state into each of the 4 instead of having one filter component being maintained by a parent state, which might not be the same for each one. So you have to say, if tab value equals 1, do this. If it's 2, do that. If it's 3, do that. If it's 4, do that. The better way to do it is like just having it in this component, and then you can do what you want with it.
Okay.
I can show you a quick example from my side.
I think it's okay. I think I know what's the scope to be done here. Basically, the simple is I will just put top filters here, or rather inside here. Then it should be all right now. I will let each and every component manage govern their own filters. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I mean, look, I'm not gonna if you want me to share my screen just for a minute, I'm not gonna make any code. I'm gonna show you actually existing code
sure.
that we have in a production app.
Let me just stop.
Cool. So basically, what you've got. So I'll show you because I was actually working on it today. I'll show you what it looks like on the front end, and then you can see. So basically, let me just hide these. So this is what it looks like, right? So this is the kind of the component that I've worked on, and you can see I've got a tab details here, right? So how does it look like in code? If you've got, so it's edit. So I've created these common components called tab and tab. So inside each tab, this is pretty much all the code. I've got tabs, which I'm wrapping everything around, and then inside this tab, I'm saying label is details, so it's rendering details. And then inside here, as children, I'm passing through a component. Because I'm now passing through a component, so I think it is here, it's inside here, load details, right? So this is the component on the left-hand side. I can create my own queries, I can create my own context of formic, I've got my own values, I've got my own logic, and all this logic pertains only to this component, and it doesn't do anything to any other part of this page. The same thing with the travel plan. So like this one's a little bit more complicated because it does a bunch more things, but I'm only using it inside this component, and the way to do that is just rendering everything inside here, and this only when I click on the tab does this component render. So like the same idea would be for you to have filters under here that would only render when I've clicked on this, filters over here only to render when I've clicked on that, and kind of like the same thing over here as well.
Can I still use the same filter component as a template, as a base template on my side? The top filters. Let me just share my screen. Previously we only have or rather currently we only have one top filters. Can I use that as a? I'm just replicating it 4 times in a sense. Top filters.
Right. I mean, but it's a component. It is a common component. So now you can use it wherever you want.
So I can just
I think maybe the idea is when you use it 4 times, the first instance of it is not going to communicate with the second instance at all.
Yeah, that's the key.
The more instances you make, each one has its own state. Each one has its own rules, even though they look very similar. But each one is different, basically.
I want to try out this.
I talk with us here.
So for this, for example, I have this catering zone here. So the catering zone is this particular let me see, panel 2, right? Panel 2, the panel 2, I think. Yes. So I want to actually put it under here if it's possible. At the moment. Currently, I should have it. I should have it as a sort of a component per se. But is it okay if I put it here now? Because I want to test that customized API functionality.
Right, but then you have to create a completely new filters array. So,
I cannot use the same.
You see, because you're passing through that array of filters to determine what's happening inside that top filters component, and now you can't just copy and paste each one 4 times. That's why I say you have to break it out into its own component. Right now, it's the children aren't their own component. It's being rendered in the parent component like immediately. It's not its own component. Its own component means it's in its own file.
Okay. Do you mind if I make the switch now? For this part, I think. Because I had a problem of trying to call the API, but then I'm not receiving any data properly. So I want to do that switch.
The problem is that
I can move this.
I don't know what's going to happen with the state, because there's probably going to be a lot of things that aren't declared because you have to move a bunch of state around into the new component now. Because the state, once again, I said the state is on this parent component, and you need to put the state that's that's relevant to that component into that component. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes. If not, it will be throwing out errors.
Yeah, it's going to say this isn't defined. This isn't defined. This isn't defined.
I think it's okay. Let me see. I dot is okay. I dot let me see where's I dot's coming from. I dot is just the mapping. It's locally. I only have a few states only. It's okay, I think. I just have to shift this this one. I think should be alright. Yes. Do you mind if I do the switch now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I have it in.
Just that you're gonna need you're just gonna need to tweak it, you know. It just depends like what your time is, you know.
Yes.
But yeah.
Maybe I can
So
do
let's
that.
try just make one.
Yeah.
Let's try make that component.
Can I just call it zone? Chase. Yeah. And then I can do that. Can I just 50? I have it in a wrapper or something. And this. So call this one. Swift dialog. I'm using multiple components and I share at the same time. So this is another child also.
So everything under there is a child.
Yeah, it's a child. How do I pass this child to this child when both are child? Oh wait, I can just call it inside, I think.
No, because you want to pass through the max width. No, so that you just put a fragment around it.
Fragment. You see something like that?
Yeah. No, under the transform wrapper.
Can I keep open dialog here and then I just move that? But it doesn't work. Yeah. Let me just fragment it.
You put that under the transform wrapper. Yeah, there we go. Now it's all one component. I mean, it's not siblings together. It has a single component. There's a single element at the top.
So I will just
on
move
the
it,
top level.
Move it.
Which is kind of what you need.
There. In zone here.
Is that the one you just made?
Yes. Yep. Catering zones. I need to export it. I need to export it out.
No, so
I need to call it. Yeah, I need to call it. Sorry. I need to import and call it.
But what's in catering zone currently? Is it empty?
No, it's this one. I shifted
Did
it.
you just add?
Yeah, I shifted it. So I need.
But did you shift the whole component? Did you just shift that? Oh, I see.
So I need a.
No, but what you need to do is here. I'll show you.
Yeah. Export.
So.
Constantly.
Oh, sorry. Let me request control.
Yep.
So.
I need to export these. I need to summon.
I mean, the way you started is you just.
I have to skip that.
Do you have those snippets? No.
RE.
You need to create a function.
Yeah, great. Catering zone.
And then you still have it in your paste.
Yes. I need some.
So now it's going to throw you an error that there's children. So you want to just.
This.
So you need to put that up. And then you want to do it at the bottom here.
So it treats the whole thing as a single component.
Yeah. Now the problem is this doesn't exist. So that's what I'm saying. All the state that you're using for this component, you need like here, source equals main logo. Where is main logo coming from? So you'd rather just want to declare it here instead of declaring it in the parent component. So you're going to have to go through each one of these and see, well, where is open dialog X in here? And if it's only being used there, then I can safely bring it into here.
Yes,
if it's not only being used there, then I have to pass it through as a prop.
I think it's only being used there. Yeah. I can just do a control F. Yeah, basically this thing, I think.
Open dialog X.
It's a function, yeah, it's a function. I can just bring it over.
Well, where else is it being used?
I don't see any.
No, you have to search open dialog, or you actually have to search set open dialog. because then you'll see where else it's being used. So you see it's being used 17 times.
I can. Yeah, this is the just now one. This is the one we had just now.
Right, but where else is it being used? Because you see it's being used 17 times. So you have to. That's why I say it's like kind of quite a bit of work. You have to go into. You have to go see, well, where is it being used here and there, you know?
Yes. Okay, I remove it already. So it's just being used. These few places. I will move it over.
Oh, fine. I see. So it was being used only
Yes,
there.
yes.
Okay, cool.
Let me move it.
Fine,
move it
fine.
over.
Then essentially you can move it to the catering safely.
Inside here.
So you see, like pretty much the exercise is to go through and try and
Yes,
see wherever you're using state.
basically
Yeah,
this
there we go.
function,
And you can
yeah.
just
Can I
right,
just put
right,
in
exactly.
for you?
Cool.
Sounds good.
I guess it will
Throws me some. Huh? I have it in here already. On 581. Oh, sorry, it's there complaining. So I don't need this already.
Yeah.
Few, okay. Okay.
Right. So then that's
So
essentially how you'll refactor.
I want a sort of a new set of filters here, I think.
Right.
So I can have it in where do you suggest
I'm not sure. Maybe just before this open dialog X.
okay. So I will just adapt from filters.
Basically, I'm following the same, more or less the same structure.
Can I just
Right.
pot it over? Can I spot it over?
Yeah. So you can bring that into there.
Okay.
I see there's handle change here. Is this handle change a local thing?
Let me see. Yeah, it seems like it's so I need the top filters. I need the top filters. Can I put on top here or something? Maybe here. So I need to port over the on submit also. Sean.
Sorry.
I need to port over I need to make a new on submit also. And then I don't need this tab value thing.
You don't need a tab value at all.
Yeah,
No.
on submit.
But yes, you would have to pass through. You would have to create a new on submit value.
Let me just push it over first. Okay. I need the endpoint also. Wait, huh? But in this case, I want endpoint for this 3, 4.
Right. So you can see how now it's easy because each endpoint can be in its own component. You don't have to declare like 5 different endpoints and then use them dynamically.
Yeah,
That is
much
quite better organized
quite
this
painful,
way.
I think.
Yeah.
Why do I have so many? Let me see. I don't need that. I don't need all this. So I can just call endpoint, and I have endpoint. Okay.
Hmm.
Where did you go? Wait. Maybe I'm not showing it up. I need to import catering zone, I think.
Yes, you have to import catering zone. Don't know where you put it, but I guess.
I think it's the same, just a different.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yes. Whoa, what the
Yeah, I know. So now you're coming with all the errors. You have to see that there's a bunch of things that are not defined.
Yes, I need to.
And you have to just go through the task of just importing all the components that you need.
East range. Oh, we have a east range. I don't need that value also actually.
You don't really need it,
I
no.
don't need that value at this stage. I don't need that value at this stage.
Right.
Let me just see.
It starts from the beginning, so it says is range is not defined. So you have to like go through and see where is range is, and
It was error.
yeah.
Then I don't need this that value. Just now with the east range for what was our, we tried to.
Yeah, so we created that. So you don't really need that anymore.
Yeah.
Because unless you this was the catering zone.
Yeah. So this one I can just default to a single
date.
Single date, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. But will you complain about the array thing?
So change. So just take away is range for now.
I'm worried about the array structure thing.
You want to like get it working and then so do you want this one to be a date range or a date?
Just a single date.
So then you just choose, so the type is just date. Like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So now if you save that, then you should get one less error. Basically. Now set loading is not defined. Formats are not defined. So basically they're all like it's not like a million of them, they're just all repeating. Like Axios is not defined. Merged is not defined, and basically you have to see where it's not defined, and you have to see where you were using it in the parent component, and then bring it from the parent component into this component.
Maybe I can do that. Separate
Like, okay, let me So like just as an example here, it's like set loading, right? So I'm gonna search set loading here. Maybe just make it a habit of searching case sensitive, like I've got here with an uppercase L. Because sometimes you have it the same thing as a, like that, right? So you've got, so here, set loading is true, set loading is false, right? So essentially we've got, and so where, in the catering, where is it being used? So let's look at set loading. So it's being used in 7 places, right? So here, here. Another question is loading being used in catering zones? So like here I've got loading, right? Okay, so loading, there's no results in the loading, right? So basically all I want is, because set loading is being used to change a loading state, so maybe that loading state is something that's in the parent component only. Like I can see here, so I'm console logging it there, so you're not really using it much, but either way, because so just give me a second to close this door.
Yep.
So basically what you want to do then is you want to pass through set loading as a prop into the catering zone component. So like, yeah, so I'm importing it. Haven't actually used it yet. But like either way, so like we're passing through here set loading. So if I pass through set loading, then that error is going to go away because now set loading is defined.
I see there's a format.
Yeah.
But
So then,
difference in
so like I
months.
said, you have to go into each and every one. It doesn't take long. It'll take about like 5 minutes, and you just have to see, well, where is this format coming from? This is obviously coming from date FNS. So I can just
Re-import.
import format
the-
from date
or-
FNS
yes.
at the top.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me make the-
That's something, right, you want to import. So obviously it's not here, but you have to import it at the
yeah,
top.
sorry, yeah. Here.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure whether there's a like boilerplate or something
Sorry?
that we can use.
What?
I need to export this. I think like because even React, I see that React is not being used. It is not defined yet, so it's very weird.
Right. So you're gonna import like as you're gonna go through the list and import it as it comes. So you can see React is not defined, so you want to import React. Yeah. So it's just hold. Yeah. Okay.
This is a pain.
So React is now defined. So you can see the list is getting shorter and shorter. Essentially, once you've got Axios, you've got top filters which aren't defined there. You want to import that as well.
Let me see.
Exactly. So now, when you putting it into its own component, you can start to see like unnecessary things that are there. Oh, am I using it? Am I not using it? Why am I using it? The rest of them, like if you do box, row, and col, like those three, you're gonna like end up with like 10 errors instead of these hundreds.
I think it's box. Where do I see box? Box and rows, I think. I just think this one. I will do that.
So, but do you see like the general like gist of what
Yeah,
they're
it
trying to do here?
forces you to do a like sort of a stock taking, whether you're using.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can see like a lot of things that you are importing you're not actually using, all the ones that are grayed out. So it's always good to like go in and just get rid of all the things that you're not using. It cleans up all your code, and then you don't have to worry about, why am I using this? What's this doing here? All things like that.
Yeah, Sean, if I say I have set catering data here and the exact same name in catering zone, would it affect?
Sorry, what?
If I have the exact same state name, or rather set state function,
Can I use the exact same name? Can I redeclare the exact same name for catering data?
Yeah, but it's just
It's not good. It's not good practice, lah. But
I'm just not sure what it's being used for.
it's,
like,
it's,
yeah,
it's,
that's-
it's to store the response from the array. It's to store the response from our Exos calling.
But for each and every single one.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's probably not best practice. Like I said, this is all going to go away when each
Yeah.
thing is in its own component, because then right now you're doing conditionally. If tab value 1, then I want to call this endpoint and I want to set it to this catering data 1. If tab value is 2, I want to call this endpoint and set it to catering value 2. You're not going to need to do that anymore because now it's in its own component. So you can just say catering data. You don't even have to have catering data X. You can just have
It's just-
catering data.
I can use the same name. The exact same name.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
oh man.
exactly, yeah, you can use the exact same thing. If it's in its own component, you can do whatever you want.
This the
When you're trying to do something like this, like that's not the best practice when you're putting in like 5 and they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're doing that, then you like it's like an alert to say no, I need to put these in different components.
I see. Because I'm not too sure how do you actually manage data coming in from Axios?
Do you store it
Do you use set state to stop?
to manage them?
Yes.
Yeah, because I want that reusability. In a sense.
You want to what?
I want to reuse it. I want to reuse it for other purpose also. There might be a use case for me to use it for other purpose, like subsequent purpose. You see.
Right. Well, so with that use case, you'll probably. I mean, you can either use a state.
But I'm not sure how
management
do you
library.
manage if I say the payload is not coming fast enough, and then the state will be empty in a sense. How do you navigate through this kind of problem?
That what? That the state
Like
is
yeah,
empty.
if the payload it does not come fast enough for
So
the
you just use a fallback.
callback.
So like you say, well, if there is data, then I want to render this, and if not, I want to
Yep.
render something that just falls back to something like a loading state or something like that.
The empty array like that.
An empty array or something that just something that indicates that something is loading. Yeah, the way we do it is, so we use GraphQL. So they have their own React hooks, which are like quite simple, but when you call the API, then it gives you like a data object, and it gives you a loading object, and it gives you an error object. So then I always just say, if there's an error, I want to render the error page. If there's no data, so if there is data, I want to render the page with the data, and if there isn't any data yet, I just want to render a loading page. And that's pretty much what I do on all the pages, basically.
So Graph does have some error handling functions.
GraphQL
in
has
this case.
error handling, yeah.
Yeah, I see.
You can essentially create your own hook for Axios that and it will be something that passes through a query and then fetches the data and then like returns you either a success or an error or a loading. That's something we could also possibly do. I'm just running out of time right now. Do you want to try do this refactoring and then we can touch
Yes.
base tomorrow for a little bit?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you seem to be on the right track. It's just all you need to do is just keep bringing in the variables that you need. It's like you got two left. You got theme and you've got main logo and merged, and essentially these are all the ones that you just need to bring in.
I think one thing I want to check with you is because I'm trying to interface with this the seats previously we had that kind of seat layout, because I'm not sure how to do that merging or rather setting of the states like given a payload like such as this one, given I have this payload, this sample payload, I'm not sure how to map it to that seats layout.
Yeah, I think that's something we're just going to need to look at separately, hey?
Alright.
I wouldn't know offhand.
Okay. Let me just do the refactoring
maybe
first. Then
let's
we
do
can
refactoring first. I'm thinking in preparation for that, you could just send that string, that like entire payload string, and then maybe just copy and paste this entire array so that I could see exactly
Sure.
what needs to be mapped to what.
Sure.
That might help, yeah. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
so
See
thanks for
tomorrow
now.
if let's say it's okay.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Okay.
It's
Alright.
just, I'm extremely busy because we have like our holidays tomorrow, so like we're just doing a lot of preparation.
Yes. The Good
Yeah.
Friday.
It's a Jewish festival actually,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's like an 8-day one, so we're just trying to,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
I see.
we go all the way. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Let me try
Thank
to
you,
catch
though.
you in the morning if I say possible.
Yeah.
Just a short 30
I'll
minutes.
try.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll let you know.
Bye bye.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.